Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Purpose for Empowerment. Today's topic is self control, and basically, we're just talking about that issue and how it affects our lives in terms of our emotions, our feelings, how it affects us moving forward in life and our everyday life, and what God has to say about having self control. So, firstly, we are human, and by nature we are imperfect. We are born in sin and shaped in iniquity, and therefore we will all make mistakes. But making a mistake, that whether avoidable or unavoidable, is no reason to justify your lack of self-control. Having no self-control is no reason to justify any mistake that you make, that is simply because you are unable to rein in yourself, to rein in your feelings. In life, what we look for is those quick fixes, those situations where we find ourselves getting fast solutions to whatever issues that we may face. And usually those situations are the situations in which, where if we didn't enter into that, then the problems that we face as a result could have been avoided had we been able to control ourselves. So say for instance you're a single person and you are so dying almost to be in a relationship, or if you're a single Christian, one of the main things for us now is like it's a trend. It's like everybody wants to be married, and but you rush into a relationship, into a marriage that is not what God wanted you to be in, or you were not ready for. You had not sought out to find out who this person is, what this person is about, and you just you just jumped in, blindly jumped in, never asked any questions. But because your heart and your flesh and what you want pleasure, and you want it now, and you want what you feel is joy, and you want what you feel is peace, and you want it now. Now, considering the fact that this person has nothing that you need, this person is nothing for you, but because you lack the control to put your flesh under submission and to step back and to look at this situation from a different perspective, you jumped and you put yourself into a situation where it's going to be difficult for you to remedy the situation. So that's why in essence God tells us that we need to have self-control, because this is one of those fruits of the spirit that if you have not it, then you have many other problems coming to the surface. Because if you lack self-control, you're gonna be a person who is prone to be envious of somebody else and their successes, somebody who is jealous, somebody who is just angry and mean and quick to anger, which is one of the easiest things that comes about when you lack self-control. And so it's important to be able to think first before you speak, think first before you act, and reason things out, even things in a moment, in the heat of the moment. In some cases where anger, you are just enraged, and with reason too, you're enraged. But it is always better to think and reason it out. Then there is other situations where you find yourself thinking of something, like something just comes to your mind, and then you're like, because I thought of it, well, I should do it. But are we taking into mind the fact that not all the voices that we hear speaking to us are voices that are speaking to us for our good. So there are demonic voices that speak to you. And if it tells you to do something and you're like, oh, you could even question it. You question doing it. And because you lack that level of control over your own emotions and feelings, you go ahead and do something that you know that is not for you, that will only cause pain and heartache upon your life. And as young people and as young Christians, we should be at a place where we can see when something is not for us, something is not good for us, and we should be able to let it go and move past it and then rein ourselves in. So if you're watching a movie and there's something going on in that show and you're having a headache and you're like, oh, this show is so weird, and well, maybe that's an indication that you should not be watching this movie. There is definitely something wrong with the movie and you need to turn off the channel and go and find something productive to do. Or find another show, a better show, something that's more uplifting, something that's not lewd or whatever, something like that. So then this is where us being able to bury ourselves then on a daily basis, to die daily to the things that are not right, number one, and that are not of God. So if you know that you are resentful, you're easily angered, you are very intolerant, and just lack self-control altogether in almost all areas. You jump at anything, and yeah, so you have to die daily to those things, because if we do not take control of those things, then those things will have us in bondage and have control over us. And it's not an easy thing when you are trying to live in your purpose and live in your will while you're still in bondage. And then if you are not able to take control of your life, then you will be prone to idolizing people, things, places, everything that God tells us not to do, which is not to have any other gods, right? Don't let a relationship be your other God. Don't let you wanting to be oh so great and the one who gets all the attention, that becomes your God. You worship it, you idolize it. Do not let these celebrities of today become your God, and so that when they do wrong, your spirit can't correct you, and to correct them, they may never hear your correction, but you should not be in agreement with when people are doing or saying wrongs and you know that it's wrong. One moment. Things like praying, reading the Bible, fasting, these are things that the flesh would have us not do. The flesh would have us, oh, I'm too tired, I'm too, right? The flesh would have us say that, but at the same time, the flesh will say you can go and watch that movie, you can go and you can go here, there, and everywhere. You can go to the party, you can go and do whatever pleases you, while your purpose and your work here is being thrown to the side, because we find it easier to do what fulfills our flesh at the time, what pleasures us at the time, and the things that are to be done for our good, for our benefit, for our joy, for our peace, for our prosperity. We don't want to do them. Another issue is the fact that some of us have no control over our tongues. None. None at no point at all, at nowhere in life, no address, no location. There is no time at all, nobody that speaks to you. There is no control over your tongue. Your tongue is your greatest weapon. The words you say can never be taken back. Not even when you're by yourself. If you say words in the ear to yourself, those words can never be taken back because someone heard it. Someone heard it. It's not just us humans who hear things. Someone heard you say it. So you have to be careful of the things that leave your mouth. And that takes you taking the time to think about what you're saying first. Some of us have a very horrible temper, like no chill is what they call it. No chill. Yeah, no, no, not nice. All right, so having said all of that, and I hope for persons who know in themselves that they have these issues to address, that you will just look at yourself, because especially for young Christians, we have nowhere going if we can't control and rein in our emotions and our negative thoughts, our doubts and our fears. We have nowhere going. And this is what the devil wants. He wants to keep us trapped. He wants to keep us just filled with fear and anger and even self-hate. But we declare and decree right now that only what God has for us will we be, will we do. He has given us our work, and we have to pay attention to finding out what exactly He has for us to do. And if we have found that out, and if we really believe that we have found that out, we have to work towards that and forget about the little petty things that bother us, because that is going nowhere. That's just a waste of time. We don't have a definite amount of time here. We don't have an infinite amount of time here. And so we have to do what we have to do in the time that we have. Right? So here are some verses. I hope you meditate on them. Don't want to go too far because my time may be up. Gosh, please. A fool always loses his temper, but a wise man holds it back. That's Proverbs 29 verse 11. Then set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Psalms 141 verse 3. This you know, my beloved brethren, but everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. James 51 verse 19. Therefore, and then the last one is, he who guards his mouth and his tongue guards his soul from troubles. So, as we're here to listen, to share, let us be cognizant of the fact that in anything that we do, we have to put the effort. We have to put out the effort. And it's only these things that we do, these small things that we do, will help us to reach towards that mark, will help us to reach the place where we want to go. We have visions that we need to achieve. We can achieve them with the same old. So I hope that you will take this into consideration. I hope that you have been encouraged. Look out for more from Purpose for Empowerment, and have a blessed and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Later.